Trying to really keep a low value contrast in the shadowy parts and a higher value contrast in the light parts. And you can also see down here, because I decided to make the light come from the top. So because the light is coming from top, the lower half of the X is a bit darker and a bit closer in value altogether. I tried to still make the amber look bright and colorful, but it's not as bright as the top part of the amber. And especially you can see it in the metal values. The lightest part here on the metal is never as bright as the brightest part on top. And I also try to make some parts with very low detail, so like this, or the parts of the leather, and then have some detail in between. So I tried to make a separation between detail, no detail. So I have these parts that are a bit less in detail because they're also darker. And then I have these parts that are higher in detail, and they kind of change up throughout the design. And the same part is here. In the shadow, no detail, in the light parts. So I think it looks nicer for the eye to look at it if not everything is covered in detail. But also, I love to put in a lot of detail. So maybe I'm not the best example for that. I think you can surely improve in that direction. I'm still working on that myself. So, for example, to have a bit less detail here on the shadowy parts, and then here more details in the light parts. And then I think it's getting a bit busy for layer styles. Go to outer glow, and then I'm just selecting a nice color, put it on color dodge or maybe overlay. Sometimes normal looks nice as well. But here I'm using overlay, and then you can decide how big the glow should be. You have a really nice glowing effect. For glowing effects, I'm mostly using color dodge and overlay. Be sure to use a pretty dark color when you're using color dodge, because otherwise it gets a bit too bright. Here you can see the